Hey guys, Donald McGuinn here. I've been looking through the group and everybody's been asking for the Apple header menu, so I wanted to go ahead and make a video on how to make that. So let's go ahead and dive right in. For the Apple header menu, just so you all know what I am referring back to, it is the apple.com and it is the Mac page. I'm sorry, we're going to do the iPhone page right here. So this is what it's going to pretty much end up looking like in the end. I'm going to pull the images from Apple um, just so that everything is the same. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's add our first bar. We're going to add 3 containers. Okay, in the first container, we're actually going to use this for our mobile, because if you see it on mobile, let me see if I can pull up mobile version. So this is the mobile. We have the navigation, we have the logo, and we have the shopping bag. So let's see. So let's go ahead and this the first container, like I said, it's going to contain our mobile friendliness. The second container is really what's going to contain some of the other stuff. So let's go ahead and add our image here, and we're going to add, for the third container, we're going to go ahead and add the search modal, and we're going to go ahead and add the social. But I'm going to use a cart drop down to symbolize the cart, just to make it easier. Okay, so, and then in the first one, we're going to go ahead and add another image. And this is going to look totally weird until we go ahead and get it all configured. Navigation collapsed. And let's swap these two. Alright, so it looks just like the Apple menu, right guys? Alright, we're all done. Alright, so let's go ahead and style this the way we need it to look. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and first start with this image. This image is going to be desktop only, because it's all the way to the left, and this is going to be our image that we're going to use for mobile. So we're going to go ahead and hide this image on mobile platforms. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and hide that image, the second container, and we're going to hide that one on the platforms for desktop. Okay. This navigation collapsed menu, we're going to go ahead and add that. And we're going to go ahead and make that so that's just visible on mobile devices. So let's go ahead and make sure we have that one clicked, customize, and that is just going to be visible there. Alright, now we're getting closer to the final layout. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and go inside of our bar and our 3 containers, and we want them to be fill space equally for the first one, and then we're going to go ahead and do fill space equally for the second one. And guess what? We're going to do no shrink for the third one. And you'll see why in a minute. Alright, so this is a little too wide, so let's go ahead and knock that down to 1,000 pixels. Alright, so we have this inline navigation. Let's see, we have the container 1, we have the container 2. Let's go ahead and make sure that that container 2 is also hidden on the desktop devices, because we won't need that. Inside the container 2 is the main one for there. Okay, so we have the container 1, container 2, and container 3. Container 2 is up there. So let's go ahead and make this navigation right here full width. So let's go ahead and self flex, sorry, Yeah, cell flex, fill space equally. Items flex, fill space equally. And it does just a little bit of adjusting there. Okay, let's go ahead and pick my already pre-done Apple menu. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna get the source for this logo from Apple. All right, let's go ahead and insert from a URL and paste that. Now you can't see it because the background is not the color. It's a white image. So let's go ahead and add Apple's logo, or Apple's background color. Now this is really small, so let's turn off the retina. It's an SVG, so we can do that. Let's go ahead and make this inline navigation. Let's make the top links white. White. And then when you hover over top of them, I'm just going to keep them white for now. Let's go ahead and make this bar smaller with a size of 3. And the top links for the main header, we're actually going to drop those in font size to 0.85. Let's make this white first. 0.85, just to make them a little smaller. All right, now we're actually looking pretty close to an Apple menu. Now let's make this search modal look correct. Let's get rid of this background because we won't need that. Let's go ahead and turn off this box shadow. Okay, so now we have that. Also, we're gonna just snatch. We're gonna also snatch Apple's icon as well, just to make it more authentic. I don't recommend you guys doing this because, well, it's stealing their images. Okay, let's see where it is. Where do you keep it? Set up. Toggle graphic. Let's enable it for be a regular image and not an icon, which is available through here. Turn off the retina dimensions, and we're going to knock this up just a smidge to 0, so that way it's centered. Let's go ahead and add some margin around to the left and right of this search icon. Let's add it 1. All right, and now we have a drop down for the cart. I'm not going to show you guys how to style all of this, but I will show you how to style this. Let me also get their image. Graphic setup, use our own graphic. We're going to paste in this logo, turn off the retina, and we're going to do a 0 margin on that. Let's go ahead and get rid of the background. We can actually turn down this border radius. We don't need it. It's not going to show once we take off the box shadow or anything, but you never know. Alright, well there is that. It's looking pretty close. Let's go ahead and add their font, just so that everything takes place of it. Alright, that's what we have so far. It looks great. Let's go ahead and make that part mobile friendly. Alright, then we've got this, and then we have all of that mess. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with container 1. Now this navigation inline needs to be turned off for the non-mobile devices. See, it still looks good there, I think, in my opinion. Maybe bumping it up to right here and turning it off might be best. Let's do that. Why not? just to make it fit a little bit better. Now this logo, we're not going to need this logo because this one's going to show up. So we're not going to need this logo on anything smaller than this tablet. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Just one more. So now we have this. Let's turn off this search modal on anything smaller than a tablet, or tablet and below. And let's go ahead and make sure that this navigation collapsed is good for one bigger. Okay. And then this right here also needs to be turned on for here and turned on. So we have the desktop. We start to get the mobile. Let's go ahead and add Apple's image. Okay, turn off Retina. Alright, there we go, we got that. Alright, and then we're just going to go ahead and do a quick little styling on this toggle. Nothing special. Apple just has the burger menu, and we're going to just make that white. White, there we go. Let's space it out a little bit because Apple has theirs a little spaced out. Let's make it 5, 4. Let's make it 4.75. Now let me check and see what it is on the other one that I have. The graphic that I have is 4.5. So either way works. Let's just make it 5. Okay, well there is the top part of the Apple menu. Can't even tell them can't even tell them apart. Except for the spacing over here, but you can always play with the spacing for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the second part, which is the part that you guys really all want to know how to do. Alright, let's add a second bar. Let's find out what this color is. And this color happens to be almost the same as the previous one. And there it is, 2020. Okay, and so they have it a little bit shorter of a width than they do the top menu. So I'm just going to go ahead and just make that 600 pixels width, just so that you can make it however wide you want to do. If you have a wider navigation, obviously make it wider. For this content length, we need to make that auto. And I'm going to keep the height at 6, just because that is what we need to do. Let's go ahead and add a container and add our first module, which will be an inline navigation. There it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and make this so that the top links are white. And the interaction for the links, Apple has this blue for their interaction color. So I'm just going to use that, and it happens to be this code right here, 102, 187, 255. It's a very odd color. And let's go ahead and make sure that the container is fill space equally. Okay, so as you can see, it fills the entire 600 pixels. And then we also need to make it so that this inline nav does fill space equally. So this is what we have here. Now I already set up my menu for the Apple menu for the secondary one. So I went ahead and I have that. And if you need to learn how to add images like Apple has to your menu, I have a video, and I'll go ahead and I'll link it below so that you guys can go ahead and direct yourself straight to it. But I've already got my images applied here. I just have to turn them on. So when you have your images here, go to the top links graphic, and we're going to turn that on. And now you see that we have fonts, Font Awesome, and you can see the black pointer hands there. We want to turn those into images. Alright, so you can see that we have our images as shown right there. Now, in order for us to get them above, we need to make sure that the top links are set as a column. So let's go ahead and do setup, column. Okay, and our graphics are still a little small, so we have to turn off the Retina Ready. And these are all SVGs, so it's quite alright that their Retina Ready is off. And we're going to go ahead and bump this up to 7.5 just because we need more room. Alright, some inline navigation. So it looks a little weird right now to where everything is wrapping. So what we need to do is we need to make sure we're in the menu and wrap children. Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, turn wrap children on. And we need to also make sure, I'm sorry, wrong one. Top links. Yeah, wrap children. And we need to make this width. So I'm thinking 400 pixels could be a good width for it. And then we're going to go ahead and take the size down of this text because we do not need it that big. Let's do 0.7. And then there is also a subtext. So let's turn on our secondary text right there. Okay. You can see it right there, just a smidge. And we're going to go ahead and style our subtext so that it is always blue. Secondary text format, because that's how they have theirs. Alright, so now we have, basically we have to align these so that they're all on the bottom. Otherwise they're not going to look right, and they're all going to be, you know, jagged edges and things of that nature. So what we need to do is in the settings for the container, we need to be horizontal for the center. Horizontal, vertical, start. Alright, there we go. Vertical start on the menu design, not the top links design. And these were all the same, so they're all going to line up to the top. So let's go ahead and center both of these primary and secondary text up. Let's center that. Let's center that. Okay. So we have one more thing to do, and that's go to the bar, and we have to turn on content scrolling for the bar, for the second bar. Once we do that, it allows us to go ahead and scroll the content once we're on mobile. So let's go ahead and give it a test. And it looks like we are in business. So everything is working just fine. And we are good to go. Looks like we are in business. So yeah, that's how you build the Apple menu. Simple as that. Once you're done, hit save. You can style the cart drop down however you want. And actually, I'm seeing that that's hidden behind there. So in order for us to fix that, we need to change that to a 9998 so that the drop down for the cart goes over top of the secondary menu. But you can style this however you want. I'm not going to go through a tutorial on how to do that. You can style this however you want as well. Don't forget to link your image to your home page, and you have the Apple menu recreated in full. And just so you guys can see it, I'm going to save it, go back to my headers, and show you guys a live preview. Alright, so we have this. And then once we resize it, everything works out well. And this scrolls. There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be posting more and more videos in the upcoming weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, tag me in a status in the XTheme Users Facebook group, or drop me a private message on Facebook. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.